Was anybody at fault for that incident between William Byron and Ty Dillon?
I feel like it's the spotters in the sense where we don't know. Obviously, it's he said, he said. Ty Dillon saying his spotter relayed the message. Ty Dillon's spotter saying he relayed the message. The 24 spotters saying we didn't get anything, and Byron saying, as far as he knew, he didn't get anything. And obviously, Ty Dillon didn't put his hand out the window. They showed that on the broadcast. But I guess Ty Dillon trusted that his spotter would tell the 24 team, which he said he may or may not. This is all allegedly. We will find out eventually if the spotters told us, but at this current time as we're recording this, we don't know. And so it's hard to say who's at fault. I guess Ty Dillon could have at least even put the hand out the window just because. Obviously, like if you leave the house, you checked if you have your keys, your wallet, everything twice. You go back and check a third time just because, just to be safe. Better safe than sorry. And Ty Dillon could have easily did that. But I don't know. You feel gutted for William Byron. You just do. And one thing I will say, I love stage points. I love the stages because William Byron does not deserve to be punished for being a top 4 car all day long and then finishing in 36. So he still scored 19 points, which would have been good enough if he had finished in 18th where Chase Elliott had finished, even though Chase Elliott had stage points and scored 25 points. But still, for example, William Byron scored more points than AJ Allmendinger, who finished 19th with no stage points. So it shows that you still get a little bit of a reward there, or reward, I should say. But yeah, go from Byron was, we said plus 20 something, or not plus 20, plus like 4, I believe he was to the cut line. Now he's minus 15, and that's just crazy. And then someone like Chase Briscoe, too, benefits from that, was minus 14. Now he is plus 15. So it's just that quickly. And then Ryan Blaney as well was like plus 4 or something. Now he's minus 31. Like, wow. But I know we'll talk a little more about that. But yeah, with Byron and Ty Dillon, I don't know who you blame. I think you blame the spotters in a sense, but we don't know the information unless it's proven right there that the 10 spotter told the 24 spotter, or maybe he forgot. Who knows? But somebody's covering their butt right now, and we don't know who it is. But it's just one of those deals where you feel bad. And all we heard on the broadcast was wreck in turn 4, but they were showing a replay of something. And then all of a sudden you turn, you see debris everywhere, and then it's William Byron scooting down pit road with a lot of damage, and then Ty Dillon was destroyed. Then someone else I think spun too. But yeah, I don't know who you blame really, except the spotters. But I guess whenever we find out, we'll be able to comment on that.
I think in this situation, I get that you trust your spotter and all that, but like, you couldn't have just thrown an insurance hand out the window. You're already, like 4 or 5 laps down, having a terrible day. You couldn't spare throwing your hand off the wheel for a half second, get it out the window, and make sure the guy that's racing for a championship doesn't absolutely mow you down because he's only about a half second behind you. I do agree that if the message was passed along from the 10 spotter to the 24 spotter, and then that message never made it from the 24 spotter to Byron, then I think that is a pretty open and shut case. But obviously, as Matthew said, that's he said. All that said, it's just, again, I said that William Byron wasn't moving on to the round of 4. And as I said with Hamlin before, with him winning, this isn't exactly how I drew it up. But yeah, I think that Byron was shaken up a little bit, in part because of the impact, but I think we also need to reckon with the fact that he would not have been in that position had he not pushed the car over the limit 3 laps before, had Larson and Ty Dillon pass him to get behind Ty Dillon and inevitably run into the back of him. So I think that Byron was shaken up in a, physical sense, probably. I mean, it was a very hard impact, very, very bad impact for both drivers. Hopefully both of them are, in good shape, ready to go next week. But yeah, terrible for the 24 team, the regular season champions, to come into this race and, perform so well. As Matthew put it, 18 stage points would have put him, in the top 20 just for points earned on the day. And to come out of it with a completely wadded up race car that is not going to see the light of day again. And you got to go to Talladega and get some points. Got to go to Martinsville, where you routinely in the fall don't perform, to get some points, and hope that somebody else below the cut line doesn't win to further plummet you in the standings. Things are not looking up for the 24 team, guys. I'm going to be completely real with you. That may have taken the wind out of their sails that they had the first 240 laps of the race.